There's a certain sort of satisfaction to the first harvest from the garden. Those first 4 snap peas I picked tasted exactly like spring. Delicious, crisp. These are going into a stir fry tonight, along with some of the other vegetables that are ready to be picked. There's not much ready yet. It's been a weird spring. But we will make good with what we have, and it will be delicious. Things are balancing out. It's not 90 and 100 degrees still, though that did some damage to the garden. It is a beautiful spring now. This one got a little too big. I think I'm gonna try stir frying it and see how that goes. Because of the 100-degree weather, some of these started to bolt, so I'm not sure how many radishes I'm going to get that are good. Hi, it's Amy on Hummingbird Hill, and I just harvested some vegetables for one of our first garden stir fries of the season. Now, because of the heat, our radishes that were a little iffy started to bolt. So I picked the 2 biggest ones, and I'm not sure the rest are gonna give us any radishes. I was hoping to try some roasted radishes. I'm gonna take the big giant one that has a split down the middle, slice it up and try it in the stir fry, see how that goes. I picked my first turnip, which is exciting, and that is also gonna go in the stir fry. Some of the onions from last year's onion experiment are starting to turn brown and their stalks are dying down, so I pulled a whole bunch of those, and those are going into the stir fry along with some garlic scapes. And I think I should have picked the garlic scapes a little bit sooner because one of them is like starting to open up on the flower, but I wanted to wait until they were fresh so I could use them right away. I haven't ever cooked with garlic scapes before. I've mostly grown soft net garlic and not had great success with it. This year is looking pretty good, mostly because I planted it at the wrong times. It's amazing what research will do for helping you out in the garden. So that is that, but this is actually an update on the hay bale end of the garden for our Straw Bale Garden Collaboration 2019. And the last time we checked in, I had talked about using some fish fertilizer and really trying to figure out what was going on with the bales, and I think we've done it. Things are looking so much better. I'm thrilled. And if you'll notice in the background, I've got kind of a Frankenstein drip system that has made my life so much easier. Those 100-degree days with the super hot winds dried the bales out a ton, and I was so worried, and I had to spend hours out here watering. I know it doesn't look like that much, but with the whole garden and needing to take, oh my gosh, sorry, the birds are flying around. They're super cute. The hummingbirds are just charming. They keep flying down here. We're right by their little feeder here. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. But so the drip is a huge help, and I know that I had the supplies to do that sooner. I just wasn't sure exactly how to set it up, and I wanted to get it right, and I'm like, I don't have time to wait for right. I'm just gonna get it done. So there are definitely some things I need to fix and modify, some parts I need to buy to help make some angles better so water isn't dripping, and some places I need to plug up because the drip tube that I bought on clearance in January, before I knew I was going to even do hay bales, has holes spaced out every so often, so they're not necessarily like you can put the drip holes wherever you want. So I need to plug up some that are in the pathways so I'm not wasting water. But other than that, I am so excited. And let me tell you about what has saved the hay bales. Hold on just a second. Okay, I couldn't hold the camera and pick up the bags at the same time because what was really going on is after I kind of managed the bugs, I tried some bug traps, those things were getting in hand. The fish fertilizer was helping balance out the nitrogen in the bales. I was still noticing that some of the leaves were turning yellow. And so I knew that there was still some imbalance in the bales. And so I thought, well, first I probably need some iron. But I wasn't sure exactly which kind of iron, so I went to my local farm store and I asked them about yellowing leaves. And they said, yes, add some iron, but you also probably need to add some Epsom salts. And I was like, all right, well, I like those in the bathtub. Those are super comfy. Why not? And I'd actually seen a couple of videos with titles about Epsom salts, but I haven't really watched them because it hasn't been something I've needed until this year. Ooh, hi, wind. Until this year, fertilizer, as far as amending the soil, anything like that has been so far from my style of gardening or what I've done just because I haven't really needed to, that I haven't thought about it a lot. So at the store I grabbed, are you gonna stay there? Is the wind gonna knock you over? The wind's gonna knock you over. Hold on just a second. Let's move again. Okay, let's try this again. It's a little windy out, but it's gorgeous. So the first thing I got was some Espoma garden lime for organic gardening. And this, really easy, it's pelleted, so you just sprinkle it on the bales, water it in, it dissolves, doesn't leave a mess or a residue, which is so nice. That was the first thing. Oh, hi. Don't mind me, as apparently I needed my hair tie. I have it on, I just have it. And then the other thing I got was some Epsom salt. Now please do not go and put table salt or any other kind of strange salt on your garden. No. Epsom salt, totally different. And this is basically, if we look here, pure old magnesium from magnesium sulfate. And so my magnesium was off in the garden, at least in the hay bale end. And yes, this has made such a difference. I'm going to show you a couple of the plants that were really struggling and how they're looking like now. I've only applied this once, along with the lime once. I will reapply next week just to kind of keep it boosted and keep things looking good. So yeah, let me flip you around and we'll go take a look at how the hay bales are looking right now, as this is a little update for our hay bale garden collaboration. Hold on a sec. This is one of the first sections where the use of the lime and the Epsom salts have so paid off. These are the borlotti beans, and they were yellow and eaten by bugs. This one was especially bad. I don't know if you can see because it's super bright out here, so I can't see the screen. Let's come this way. But this one was especially bad, and it is looking so much better. Yes, there are still some bug issues. I do need to trim off some leaves, and that is just a huge improvement from the last time we looked at the hay bales. Now, sadly, my Chinese dragon tongue bean, or the whatever, they're supposed to get huge and giant. Both of those are gone. I have to see if I can find the other packet. I hope I didn't donate it, but I may not get to try those this year. But these are looking so much better. Now, my spaghetti squash over here was also super yellowing. The leaves had veins, and just all the signs that they were lacking some iron and also magnesium in this case. And those looking better. Now, something has eaten part of this leaf, arg, but I don't mind a few leaf nibbles as long as the plant is growing. So like I said, I've never really worried a lot about pest control in the past, but working on the hay bale end with fertilizers I'm not used to has definitely been a learning process for me. Coming down here, the cabbage is looking so much better. I don't know if it's going to be too late for it to actually develop because it's going to keep getting warm, but I did plant it here where it does get shade because of this building for part of the afternoon. The beans here, these are the dragon tongue bush beans. They still have some yellowing going on, so I probably need to add a little bit more of the iron and the Epsom salts, but these are looking so much better. They're getting big, they're getting healthy, they're starting to get some beans on them. I love it. Over here, the broccoli is also looking a ton better. As you can see, they're coming back from the bug attacks, and they are looking a lot happier. This one especially was just almost eaten away, and it is definitely coming back. I do need to come out here and reset some of the bug traps, but as you can see, let's see, this one's a pretty good one. There are lots of little bitty bugs on there. The monitor traps I set up, I think I need to put down closer to the bales. The peppers are still looking pretty spindly. These are the ones I started from seed indoors, and I put 4 of them in, and I still have 2 to plant, but I was waiting kind of to figure out what was going on. These are looking better, especially this one, but my guess is I do need to come out and give them another little treatment. This one, yeah, there's some of these, like this leaf right here is much better. This one I just need to pull. So one of the things to do when a plant is in distress and some of the leaves have been attacked is get rid of those leaves. So the plant isn't focused on trying to sustain leaves that aren't going to actually help it out. This one's still itty bitty and puny, but it's looking better. So this is, oh sorry, this is a zucchini right here. This one's a zucchini. So is this one. So we'll see how those do. Oh, I need to film the sad story of my Chinese celery, which is looking beautiful, by the way. It's so pretty. There you go. This zucchini is absolutely taking off. It is so much happier. Oh my goodness, thrilled. I love grilled zucchini. Here we go. This marigold is much happier than it was. And I think there was seeds in this at one point that I was hoping would come up, but I just need to plant something else. I have some other plants to pop in. These are a winter squash. And let's see, do I have the tag on them? I think I do. What is this? Oh yeah, buttercup squash, and these didn't have any issues. I planted those from seed, just popped them in the bales, and they are looking really good. So no bug problems so far. Apparently this bale, this very tippy, as you notice, bale with a potato growing out from under it. Oh, hello birds, is doing all right. Here's some cabbage I popped in literally right before the 100-degree days, and it suffered a ton during those days. Did not get enough water. Well, it got water, the bales dried out. It was so windy. So these are kind of coming back. We'll see what they do. They were just pretty at the store and organic, so I grabbed them because the seeds that I planted in this bale did not come out. So there we go. I don't know if you can see that. This is some red Russian kale, and I had planted some red Russian kale in these bales, but it was not doing well. So I grabbed some at the store because it was on clearance. There we go. Here are some cucumbers coming back, and they're looking a lot better. Some beans, again, there are a few problems with some old leaves that I just need to pull, but the new leaves are looking amazing. So happy. Some more kale over here. The Bale alpha cucumbers, the one died off, so I put some more seeds in. They're coming up beautifully. Again, not struggling the way those first seeds were just because of the imbalance in the bales. And so this has been really super good. Let me just talk properly here. This has been a really good learning process for me as far as how to balance things out, how to problem solve. This Thunbergia has just done great since I put it in, and it is so pretty, and I'm so happy with it. Sadly, all the flowers I planted from seed kind of got killed off with the frost that we had down here. That wasn't really a frost, but it is. Ooh, and the good news is the Tiny Tim tomatoes. This one here was the one that was totally killed off all the way down to like this small. I don't know if you can see because I can't see anything. Here was killed off to like this small, one leaf, and it is looking amazing. This one is now coming back. The nutrients helped a lot. And then this one is the one that was just starting to come back and was just a tiny leaf for like a month and a half, and then now it is putting on a ton of growth. I'm so excited about that. So that's really good. And then here, this poor cantaloupe. This is a hardcore fruit, and let me tell you, this little thing got super leggy when I planted it. I transplanted it late. It was doing fine, but leggy. I put it out here. It was doing all right. Then the bugs started to get it. I figured out the bug issue, started to look better. Then the heat came, and it wasn't doing great. But now that I've added the lime and the magnesium, the Epsom salts, it is perking right back up, and I may actually get some cantaloupes this summer. We'll see about that. I'm so excited. This lettuce is actually doing really well. Now my hope is there would be on this trellis here a big old giant wall of beans that would help shield this lettuce so it would last longer. I do not have a big old giant wall of beans. In fact, I have nothing that's actually growing in this bale right here successfully, except some weeds that I need to pull. Oh look, I do have one auroch. Not much luck with the auroch this year. It just struggled. Weird weather. Ooh, beetles! Ew, in my hair. Sorry, that was awkward. So the lettuce is looking great. In fact, it's about time for a salad. These are some kohlrabi that we'll see if they go up. Sweet potatoes are looking good. Ooh, this whole area, this is part of the Frankenstein system. I need some help. I'm working on it. I just got this in 2 days ago. Some more turnips over here in the bales, which I'm excited to see how they do. And then some more Chinese celery, which I guess I'm gonna have to film this story of my Chinese celery at some point. So hold on just a second, let me flip you around. One of the absolute best things that I am really loving about the hay bale end of the garden is how much it's letting me try things out and totally lose control in some ways, because there's so much I do not know about hay bale gardening, and there's so many good resources out there. There's so much history about it, because when it started with Joel Carstensen? Oh, how do I say his last name? Anyway, when he really started the whole movement, drawing on some other traditions to create this style of gardening as a sustainable way to have some clean space to grow, there has been a lot of work on this and developments since this was started. And it's so exciting to read about it. Obviously, I haven't read enough or everything, and I've made a ton of mistakes so far. But the cool thing is with a garden, if you don't give up, and you keep on trying, you can power through. The garden is ready to grow. The garden wants to grow as long as you don't let it down. And by letting it down, I mean giving it up, not trying, not problem solving, not really working through issues when they come up. So I've had more issues in the garden this year than I've ever had in my life. And part of that's weather, part of that's trying new things, part of that's just, it's been an interesting year. So it's super exciting for me to remember that if I don't give up on things, that I still have a chance to make things work. So that's just a quick update on the hay bale end of the garden. You should go check out the other folks who are in the straw bale garden collaboration. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The Arizona. Okay, so I complain about 2 days of 100-degree weather and super, super hot, dry winds trying the hay bales. I cannot imagine being in Arizona right now and trying to do this. So you should go check out the folks all across the country who are working on their straw bales. The links are in the comments below, and you should just go see how their straw bale gardens are looking. I'm the only one with hay bale, so there you go. And just say hello to them if you'd like to know what else is going on. Again, we're all facing different issues, different successes, because we're all in different gardens. Thank you so much for joining me here on Hummingbird Hill. It is time for me, because I hear Papa's car pulling up, to go cook him some dinner for Father's Day. And that is where my vegetables from the garden are going. I hope you come back again so we can do some more growing and chatting together. Bye.